What's going on, everybody? James here, RedoptionAgency.com, 21 years selling on eBay. I just tried to make this video twice. Doing something a little different today. Why not? I already got everything shipped out. We're at 10:18 a.m. My tax people was trying to get into one of my accounts to do my taxes for last month, to do my P&L and do all their tax stuff, and I had to stop to give them the PIN number. So, if you don't know by now, you know there was a huge issue on eBay this morning. Nothing was coming up. Search was not working. Said 0 items in your store. Just a huge implosion, if you will. It did seem like from like 12 till at least 7, there was like a shutdown. Well, the first issues I saw started trickling in about 6:15. I got up at 7:30. I got up to like $9 in sales. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Something's wrong. And went to the down indicator, saw this. I'm like, yep. Then got on social media and stuff and started seeing everybody talking about it and on the boards, technical boards and stuff. So this is when I just saw $24 billion. That's how much eBay is worth. Someone needs to lose their job with all the technical problems happening. Amen, brother, to that. That's funny. But they were definitely seemed like they were shut down after 12. So whether this last minute thing was kind of intentional or if it was a result of them updating the site, not sure, but definitely an issue. And how will the day turn out? Now, was that like a major of the last updates maybe? Can look at it in a positive, optimistic way. Maybe that was just a big, huge plus, like, I'm trying, right? I've been having a good, this month's been good. Minus a few days, the month's been good compared to the last 2 years. There she is. So, not going to complain at all on that. So, but my mind's getting taken away. All right. I had to read that pop-up to make sure she got the PIN number. So we can go through what I sold. We'll go through YouTube and talk about comments and questions, and we'll look at what sold this way of doing it, and just do it a little bit differently, I guess, today. Why not change things up? There's nothing better than action is better than words, right? There's so many people on YouTube who just talk. They talk. They love hearing themselves talk, and they hide so much from you, right? That's not here. I am wide open about everything. Talk about anything and everything, as you know. And my store's not hidden. I don't have hidden stores. I don't sit there and act like I know it all and not even have a YouTube channel, but want to try to tell everybody what to do or how to do it, and that is the right way to do it. You should only do it this way, and that's all that matters. Now, there's a million different ways to do things, and I share with you how I've done it, and I share with you ideas on other ways to do things. That's my channel. That's my boring reseller life, is showing you what I've done in the past 21 years, sharing any ideas, new thoughts, new anything with you guys. So that's what I do here. And this channel will never be compared to another channel because so many other channels will hide things or not just, kind of hold back. And you can't really blame people too much for holding back on things. When you create more competition for yourself, you make it harder for yourself. So I can understand that. I've been doing this 21 years, and I'm fine. So that's why I do what I do. So let's get into, let's see, what do we want to do first? Let's take some questions and stuff. We'll go to YouTube here. So 15,579 subs. This has jumped up greatly. I want to thank you guys, all the new people, OGs, and everyone in between. Totally appreciate it. And we'll get down to the questions and comments here. Most of this is probably going to be about the yesterday issue. You know, as we saw the new ads and what have you. And I kind of saw this morning, oh, that's sold now. That wasn't sold earlier. So let me try a different one here. See if there is a different one. That's an auction. Let's try this one. That's an auction too, but let's see if it's here. Yeah. This one's an auction that's up, but the new thing, similar sponsored items, right smack dab underneath your item you're trying to sell, and how unfair and not right that is. And all before your description of your item and your information. Totally, as we talked about, totally classless way of doing things. I did find one of the ads, and they are over here for the stores. I thought I saw that on, was it on mine item? Yes. So this is my item, my hat I got up, but there's a ad over here, the Hat Pros store. You might not be able to see that. There you go. Shop related items, visit store, the Hat Pros. So the Hat Pros, they sell basically blank new hats, and they have thousands. So 46 a click, 46 cents a click they're paying. If I clicked on this, it would cost them 46 cents. So, and it's advertised on my thing. Well, at least it's a flip ad, so I guess that's a good thing. But I do notice on some of my items, when I check I don't have that similar thing. Like, but this is a unique item. I'm the only one that has this with this hat up, so that could be a reason why there. But not sure. So let's see what here. Called already. They know could be 2 days before it's fixed. Obviously, read from a script by rep. Yeah, they always have to do, you know, follow that guideline that they're given. But I'll show you. Let's see where we're at. Let me. Which one am I on? Right, this one. So we are at 1025, and I'm already at $202. So even though I had $9 at 7:30 this morning, it's been a nice bounce back day for me. So I'm kind of shocked that that's happened, but that's at least a positive thing. So hopefully that continues. So hopefully it's not the 2 days as they're talking here. So they're trying to get rid of small sellers by making it impossible to compete with the big pocket sellers. We can't keep all of our eggs in the eBay basket anymore. I think it's time for me to diversify platforms. And that is true. Definitely, I've always said, if you have limited items, you source limited items, you list limited items, definitely cross-post. It's worth it. For me, it's not worth cross-posting because when I have my $1,000 days, I'm already putting in 12 plus hours every day just listing on eBay and shipping and doing whatever I got to do on eBay. So to cross-post for me would take an extra, you know, couple of hours of my day. And then when those things start selling, then that's going to just add up too. So for me, it's just not really worth it because the time invested into cross-posting compared to the sales I would get over there, it's not worth it. So I'd put in probably 10 times the work for the sales. You know, for every 100 items in a month I would cross-post, maybe I'd get 10 sales. That's the way I kind of look at it. And in that realm, for me, it's not really worth it. So, but for smaller sellers, it's definitely worth it and probably more profitable for you to do such a thing. It's getting harder for small sellers, but here's the thing. You've got to treat your eBay, as I've said before, selling on eBay, you're either a hobbyist or you're running a business. And if you're doing a hobby, then it's just all free, thrown, you know, everything's thrown in the air, whatever. If you're running a business, you need to set a guideline for yourself. You need to be structured. That means X amount of hours to do this, X amount of hours to do that. And you have to not be distracted, be focused, get motivating. When you're working for somebody else, you're putting 8 hours into one job. When you're running a business for yourself, you need to put 8 hours into one job, aka listing on eBay, and then you need to take the next 4 hours to do your other things, your shippings, your answering the emails and stuff. Because if you're not really running a business, are you? Unless you have such high dollar profit items that, you know, you don't have to put in that kind of effort, or you're making the certain amount that you're happy with, or you're comfortable with. Then you don't really have to go there. If you're looking to have a business, to grow a business, to make an X amount of money, you have to have a structure, and you have to go by just use, and it's all out there for you. It's a business policy, it's business structure. It's all out here for you to do. When you're working for yourself, you're doing 5, 6 jobs. You're not doing one. So you're going to have to put in more than 8 hours if you're working for yourself and you want to build something. That's just the bottom line. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to keep building a business, you've got to put in more than 8 hours, period, when you're working for yourself. The Hustle Couple, hi James. I stopped by there live last night. Hadn't been there in a while, so said hello to them. Make sure you follow the Hustle Couple if you are not. I mentioned them in, I think it was yesterday's video. Learning, if you want to learn more about clothes and what's selling, they do what sold videos and what have you. So definitely a good knowledge-based channel for you guys to follow. Thanks for helpful marketing tips on the Mr. Sells a Lot store. I like your recommendations to sell multiple media items for a flat rate in the same package. Can you share the easiest way to set that up? There seems to be more options to set up shipping than it seems quite confusing when I look at it. The best way is doing it this way. I can actually show you guys answers instead of just talking them. But I might brain fart here because I don't play around in these areas too much. So let me just click that. So try to do it the quickest way possible. So we're going to go. So basically, you got to set up business policies and shipping preferences. So here you would create a policy and you would create one for shipping. If you've already got all those set up, you know how to do that. The easiest way to only have one set price is to, it's going to be on the ship. See, here's the thing. It's kind of, when you set up your policy, so over here I've got 0 as my for each additional, which is also under a applied flat rate shipping rule for free media, which is just means 0 for each additional item. So that is the easiest way when you set up your flat rate shipping, is to do that. And the other ones might, to actually set up the other one might be under shipping preferences. Maybe not. Yeah, right here, flat shipping rule. I have 10. So you hit that, and then you can create your flat rate shipping rule here. Like add an amount for each additional item. So I got one, I called it free media, and for each additional is 0. So I added that as my flat rate shipping rule, and then used that on the items that I have set up for the media. So that's pretty much how it's done. It's simple once you get your head into it. If you haven't done it in a while, you kind of forget. You got to get yourself back into it again, but that is how that is done. Let's see here. So it finally happened. I woke up to the bug where my store shows we have no inventory. Yes, I'll go ahead and pass all those because we know that happened now, and it looks like it's over, at least for now. I guess implementing the new advertising deal will cause less sales. It always does. It's hard to say. I think this, I think with the way they're advertising like this is where having unique items is going to come in as a bonus because you're not going to have your competition right under you. So if you have unique items, and then two, which comes into play, is the price point you're at. So this is for auction, so it doesn't really matter here. But somebody said it, I read it yesterday, it's going to be a race to the bottom because you want to try to be lower than everybody here. So it's going to be a race to the bottom, putting these competitors right next to yours like this. On your own page. That's what don't sit well with me. It's on your page. We're paying X amount of money per month. I'm paying $300 a month for my store, But yet now I've got to fight other people off in my store, on my pages. And I don't think that's not right. It's just shouldn't be that way. Do you have more than one eBay store? No, one eBay store. You are knocking it out of the park. Welcome to the new display ad beta. Yes. So we lost 250 to 3,000 impressions when they first switched over. I don't think I've lost any impressions. I've actually think mine are up lately. So 1.7, 1.8, 1.8. So I was hitting like 1.3 to 1.5. As you can kind of see, 1.6 there, 1.6. That was almost the same number. 1,660,900, 1,660,965. What's the odds of that? 1.5, 1.6. Where's 1.7? 1.5. So mine's actually up. So I haven't lost any impressions, thankfully. Just an FYI, I'm a buyer as well as a seller, and yesterday's search was wacky. I was looking for a glass animal, and it was giving me many random items in my search. Yeah, that whole thing's been going on for a while. I've showed before, like, sometimes I'll scan a barcode, and, like, just all this weird stuff will come up that has nothing to do with the barcode I scanned. So the search has been kind of goofy for quite a while now, but definitely something was going on yesterday, at least for the first 2/3 of the day, more than before, because it was pretty bad yesterday, but I ended up rebounding at night, had some good, a couple of the bigger lot items sell, so multiple orders. So I made it back up to 820, even though I only had like a little over 200 midday. So I had a huge little surge. After about 6 or 7, I had a nice surge of sales that rebounded me. So I was thankful for that. And I actually had sold 74 items yesterday. 29 organic, where I like to be, and 45 promoted. So, and those were the only numbers that were down yesterday, was the number of items I sold. So happy with that. Can't even load my store. If we are paying for our listings to advertise our items, but others can pay to advertise on, yeah. Sales dry as hell. I click on my listing, it goes to an error page. Okay, Josh says he can't even log in. So let's see. Unable to search items. Can't even get a simple search to work. Okay, now let's hear the people saying eBay never has issues and it's only the seller's fault. It's slow. Damn straight. Those are the same people who don't have YouTube channels that think they know it all. Alrighty. Probably a few eBay YouTubers saying it's us as well. Yeah, there's people out there who just, they're just not connected in. They're just They like to hear themselves talk. And they're always right. Always. Even when they're wrong, they're always right. All sellers on my favorites show 0 listings. Yes. So we'll try to skip some of those. You guys, a lot of you guys did not like that whole new promoted feature underneath our items. So a lot of these, I don't think I've ever had so many comments on a video. So thank you guys for all your comments and feedback and stuff. Try to skip some of these as I'm reading fast. If you haven't looked here, this is my, if you can see this, if my head's not in the way. Excellent, most valuable video. Thank you so much. That's my Create 200 eBay listings fast. So if you want to learn how to list faster, you can take some info from that works for you. Geez, you do like $1,000 a day. What the? I'd like $1,200 a day, but I'll take $1,000 a day. Are they doing away with regular promoted, or are they going to have to pay to promote and then allow others to promote on our page? I don't think they're going to get rid of the regular promoted, because there's too many of us out there who would not do the pay-per-click. Like I said before, that's just a money suck, and you'll go bankrupt in no time if you're not a huge business. Those are for big businesses selling multiples of new items. That's what that's for. It's not for thrifters and yard salers. It doesn't work. I had $1 disappear in 5 minutes. So it just doesn't work, because our items are going to be, there's a smaller niche of people that's looking for the items that we're selling compared to somebody who just wants to buy a new blank hat, as an example. Let's see. Let's create a bot that clicks on the competitor's item to make them run out of pay-per-clicks. Yeah, don't do that. That's sinking to eBay's level. Don't sink to eBay's level. I would not recommend that. I'm not saying there's not going to be people who are going to do it. I'm just saying don't do it. Don't lower yourself to that. Now here's a different perspective. When I'm buying on the eBay app, I really like the ads being inside a listing. It's much easier to visually find the item. See, that makes sense. And that's probably why eBay is doing it, because it's all being based off of what's going on with the app. It seems like all the changes on the desktop. But here's a nice follow-up. The problem is for the sellers. We pay the store fees, listing fees, promoted listing fees, and final value fees to sell our products on eBay. So there's two different views. Of course, I'm in the second view. I understand the seller's concern and agree, as I sell several hundred items a month, which are subject to promoted fees. As a buyer, however, I'm exclusively buy through recommendation. Recommend similar listings within an initial listing, and probably wouldn't buy many things without those recommendations. So there's another viewpoint. We may not like it, but it's another viewpoint. So I doubt eBay is going to change anything. So we have to figure out a way to make it work, unfortunately. As unfair as it seems, and it feels, and it looks. Unless something drastic happens, I don't see them changing and backing out of anything. Like I said before, with this whole 3-year server change-out plan, I kind of think the plan has been site-wide for everything from A to Z, it seems like. Because how many changes have we had? Usually it was just fall updates, and then spring updates. We get updates almost daily for the last 2 years. Almost daily, something changes on this site. Or I've said it, how many nights have I said eBay seemed to shut down last night? So I think that 3-year window is not just servers, but it's just literally an overhaul from everything on the site from A to Z. And we're struggling through the 3-year program. How will it turn out in the end? I don't know. But we've got to figure out ways to make it work, just like with all business. All businesses, everything eventually changes. Nothing stays the same. So you, as a business owner, you have to figure out how to sustain your business with the changes of the environment that we live in. And that could be website-wise, that could be trend-wise, as say vintage clothes don't sell for the highest dollars that they used to a year and a half ago. Something that I can get, but then on the flip side of that, something 15 years ago that I couldn't get $1 out of, I can get $10 out of now. So there's flip sides to both of it, both negative and positive. And then like, what's the new trend going to be? So I used to always be on top of the new trends. Now I'm kind of out of the loop right now, but I was the person who was buying the Tickle Me Elmos because I knew that thing was going to take off. I'm the person who was buying, what was some of the other Christmas things? I'd always kind of pay attention toward Christmas, like what's going to be that big hot item this coming Christmas? And then go out and start buying all that stuff up before it blew up. And I made about probably 4 or 5 good calls. Wish I could remember what they were. I know Tickle Me Elmo was one. I remember getting those things from Walgreens. I don't think they were the latest plush things, but maybe from 2 years ago there was a plush. No, it was a few years ago. They were like frogs, or there was a bunch of different animals. Were they pillows? I think plush pillows or something. So I got tons of those before they took off. That's probably been about 7 years. It's probably been a while. That was before my dad was here. Time go by quick. Good Lord. Hell, Tickle Me Elmo was probably 15 years ago, wasn't it? If not more. Time flies. So I'm really out of the loop with keeping up, but a good business practice is keeping up with what the next trend's going to be. Like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I told Jan I want to start buying these '80s cars. You can get them like $3,000-$4,000. I had nowhere to store them, so I really couldn't do it. It was like a dream. I want to go out and start buying up all these, 1980s Camaros. Sorry about that. My come back on. All right, my receiver turned off. All right, my receiver turned off. Make sure we're still recording. Yes. All right. So I wanted to just go out and start buying all the the squared '80s cars, and because I knew people my era and a little bit younger were getting into that era where those cars were going to start taking off, and they've exploded. So keeping up with what the next trend is going to be is always a nice big issue. Now I would say really start getting into those like the mid 2000 items, whether that's the big old flared out Jinko jeans from back in the day. God, that was a horrible look. The whole like, I don't want to say emo because emo was more 80s, but that kind of late 90s, early 2000 emos feels like it might be coming back around. Like even almost feels a little rushed, but maybe like even like early Slipknot and Korn stuff and things like that is really maybe more later Korn stuff and then Slipknot stuff. But just it feels like that whole era's getting ready to pop again. And then kind of looking out what's new going to be coming out in that kind of category, in that kind of realm. So it's always nice to keep try to keep 1 foot ahead of the trends. First time I watch your YouTube channel, good stuff, man. Keep it up. Just subscribe. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. All the newbies, the OGs, and everyone in between. For those of you who have trouble keeping focused on task, I started setting a timer on the phone. 1 hour for picks. When it goes off, I take a break, then set a timer for listing. I don't know why, but setting the timer works, keeps me working. That's good. That's what I'd say. You have to know yourself, and you have to find what works for you when it comes to motivating yourself. You got to know how your mind works and how to push and motivate yourself. And if you can figure that out, you're going to have a lot more success. And it's a lot of different things for a lot of different people. We should never have promoted our listings. Nobody thought about the outcome. Yeah, that's a pipe dream. That's like saying this country is going to be united again. Once like a big entity, corporation does something, we need to make the money, so we have to follow the rules. We have to fall in line or get out, and it's not going away. It's just not. The only way I can see it going away if something new comes along, something that's not yet created, that is a way for, say, an eBay website to generate a lot of money and not have to take it from its sellers. That would be the only way I would see it not working, because I can imagine the numbers, the money they're pulling in off of this is huge. So it would take a huge change to make that go away. So I think that would have to be something new that's not even created yet. Whether that's, I don't know. I couldn't even picture what it could be because it's not created yet. So you got to kind of really think outside the box there. But waiting on something like that is, you may be dead before it happens. So it's not going away. I don't see it going away anytime soon. I wish I was wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it's going to happen. I remember the day Amazon started doing that, having similar items on the listing page. It was the beginning of the end for me on Amazon. Yeah. They also make this confusing so they will get a lot of pay-per-click money from people who have no idea how fast the money goes to zero. Not just that, but that page is so confusing. If you're looking for this, you're just going to start clicking around anyway. Now these I don't think are the pay-per-clicks. That was what I showed you over here on my listing. It'll pop up here in a sec. Well, it's part of these flip-through ads. But that's the one that's going to be pay-per-click when that pops up. So at least it doesn't sit there the whole time, as I said, so that's at least a good thing. This is why you make a sale, they pay, and then they want to cancel because they get bombarded with seller listings even after they paid. I could see that. My canceled items have jumped up in the past week and a half. I even had one this morning. I did pooling late last night, about 10. And I stopped and I thought to myself, maybe I need to ship this stuff now, so just in case somebody wants to cancel. So if that subconsciously went through my head, that kind of tells you that, lays it out for you. Cancellations are up. And that could be the big reason why. Because I had like a $50 cassette. I'm like, crap, I don't want them to cancel this. But then I thought, well, nobody else probably has this cassette up, so I'll probably be fine. So I went to bed. But the fact that thought come through my head, hurry up and ship it now so they don't cancel. And I actually had an argument last week or whatever with somebody because I shipped so quick, and then I shipped before they canceled, and they got mad that I canceled, or that I couldn't cancel because I already shipped it, and they were down in me saying I'm a bad seller because of that. they should have had the item by now, and they haven't contacted me or returned it. So that kind of tells me that was probably the reason. And now that they got it, it's not worth their time to go back and return it and to buy the new one. So that's a possibility. So yeah, my cancels are way up lately. True money grabs, I don't pay for promoted. Truly staying low. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's a good point. It looks like they're going to your store because of this ad. Because it's so close to visit store, see other items. See, that's pretty sad when you've got this big old ad for the Coco store, but yet to get to my store, it's a little bitty tiny visit store. Why don't I have a big logo over here to visit my store? This is my page. Where is my visit my store? It's down here in my description after the ads, and I had to put it there myself. Oh, and that link doesn't work anymore. Well, there you go. Huh. I guess I need to go in and take that off because that don't work anymore. Well, there you go. So yeah, there's no way to get to my store on my page except this little bitty word, but then you have this big old ad for somebody else's store. Yeah, not good. When I'm buying on eBay, I find myself going down the rabbit hole of ads on listing pages. Many times these listings don't show up in regular searches. Interesting. Agreed, I think that's how they want people to shop, so they are active as a promoted listing as possible. It's almost like the whole, when you go into a store, impulse items. It's almost like they're setting, it's an impulse item, and you have to pay to be a part of it. And they're going to just put it all over your own stuff. So I just saw this and came to rant. I just called eBay and complained. We pay for our listings. That is our page. He said it's a new thing. I think it's funny that I came to rant to you and you just found it. Random question alert. When you guys, you and your viewers are filing your taxes, are you including sales tax as an expense? I don't know how my tax. I pay $350 or $325 a month to have somebody do it. That's what I was dealing with at the beginning of this video. They just go into my accounts, pull out all of my information. So how they do it, I personally don't know. Somebody else will have to ask. You'd have to ask somebody who knows that. That's like my employee. Something I don't want to have to worry about, think about, deal with is taxes. I don't have time for that. So I pay somebody $325 a month to deal with that, so I don't have to. So that's my employee, the tax man. Phasing out smaller sellers, going to get worse. Yeah, a lot of these promoted are for the big sellers, and those big sellers are now being pushed on our pages. So you can do one thing. You can cross-list and spread your stuff throughout the internet, or you can become a big seller. I'm trying to become a big seller. And that's what saved me in the past 2 years is all my volume. If I didn't have my volume, I would have been suffering greatly, a lot more than I did with all these website issues. So how it's going to be from here on out with all these upcoming changes and all these new ways of doing things, have to wait and see. And if I have to adjust, I have to adjust. Imagine that, more fees. I just realized that the promoted listing standard percentage is now asserted on the entire order value. Yes. How you can take fees on sales tax is a legal loophole. I'm guessing they had to jump through because that just doesn't seem like you can do that. But Apparently you can. All right, let's look at what's sold and some stuff that's sold. So I'm glad that sales are still filing in for me. So why I didn't click my thing's been goofing up. All right. So this is some of the items that just sold right here. Sting posable figure for $23. That's a little small guy too. He's about 5 inches, 4.5. There it is, inches. AWP tool belt. Jan picked that up at the bins. I tell her to grab all tool belts she finds, so that's good. That wasn't a full suede one, so I didn't get like a good value out of it. Those ones that are full suede and stuff, you can usually get some good money out of. Bunge hat for $10. Kevin Nash comic, $4. Isaiah hat. A couple of camouflage hat. Probably going to be the same person who bought those. Union Pacific. This was the item that was bought this morning, then he canceled. I would think I'm the only one that has one up, so I don't think the cancel was because he found one cheaper, but I could be wrong. Oh yeah, there's plenty of them up, but maybe he just wanted to cancel. Maybe he thought it was a CD. That happens. Oops. With Honors cassette. TCI. Cardinals jacket. Boeing shirt. I just put this up last night. Joel Cross hat. Disney shirt. Some Dockers khakis. Lionel Richie. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Oh, Under Armour fishing hat. Polo toddler hat. Yum Yum. These two were an combined order. These two blank hats. I love my blank hat selling. Jägermeister Shaggy cassette. Destiny's Child. I think I might have put this up yesterday too. Don't remember for sure. Iron City House Rockers. This is stuff that's already shipped out today. Led Zeppelin. Sun hat. This was that $50 cassette, so $49. Rockabye Baby. Like I've always said, if you see children's cassettes, don't be scared of them. Sweden hat. These next cassettes here were all one big lot. Peter Gabriel, Bryan Adams, Whitney Houston, a couple of Hueys, however you pronounce his name. Men at Work, Meatloaf, Phil Collins, Chipmunk Christmas, U2, Bon Jovi, Fleet Feet hat, Leonard Skinner. This was going to be last night's stuff, so this is stuff I'm guessing Adrian shipped. Leonard Skinner, Big Daddy. Another kids cassette, $13.50. Queen Wembley, Packers, Daytona 500, American flag. We'll go until I get into yesterday's video. Vineyard Vines, fishing, Fear, a Nike running shirt, best of ESPN's, Joy Williams. I think this was a songbook that I picked up at the Iowa bins. Brooks and Dunn CD, Winchester ear flap hat, another hat, Stereo MCs, Lonely Now, Adidas Pfizer, unbranded hat. Now we're getting into yesterday's stuff. I shipped that out yesterday. Conway Twitty. Here's the hat lot that sold. I shipped that out this morning. They bought it yesterday, paid today, or paid last night, actually. So we got all these hats. This was a repeat customer. Stuff goes to Oregon and goes into a container to go overseas. But just a lot of, I love this repeat buyer because he just buys random stuff. I love that. It ain't just about sports, all sports or all Disney or whatever. So those three were part of, no, this one and this one was part of his deal, not that one. Two. All right, now we're on to yesterday's stuff I shipped. So there you go. So just did things a little differently today. Why not? Throw a little change in the system. So last night's video is at number 1. 2.7 views. So. All right. Well, I guess that's all for me today. I gotta get to work, get the listing. Got a little bit of an earlier start today, so I gotta take advantage of that. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all on the next video. Later.